I'm getting this question a lot lately, and it is, what about saturated fats and cholesterol? We've all heard that it's supposed to be the primary cause of heart disease, and we've been told to stay away from it for the last, 40 or 50 years. But you know what? It's surprising the number of people are really questioning this now, and I'm really glad that that's happening, because let me tell you how I first got a glimpse that perhaps this whole fat and cholesterol thing is a little bit miscued or astray. There's a scientist named Dr. William Lands, and I met him at a place called the Flax Proceedings up in North Dakota at North Dakota State University, and he was there giving a lecture on omega-3 fatty acids, which I was interested in at the time. I still am. Flaxseed oil happens to have a very high concentration of these very valuable oils, fats, called omega-3s. All right. Well, when Dr. Lands was done, being the journalist type that I am, I went up to him and I asked him a question about fats and cholesterol. And he told me something that literally just knocked my socks off. And that was that Dr. Lands is one of the lead scientists for the government who studies fats and oils. So all the money that they would appropriate for these studies would go to Dr. Lands to study lipids. That's fats and oils. He told me that he was asked to study cholesterol. He did the study, reported back to the government that it does not cause the heart disease and the things that they are claiming that it did. And the government said, we're relieving you of your duties from the perspective of finishing this study. Now, what does that mean? That means that at that time, the industry that was moving forward really rapidly and having great deals of influence on the government was the seed oil industry, the soy industry, the industry that produces polyunsaturated oils. All right? Now, just recently, I was at a lecture with Timothy Ferriss. Timothy Ferriss, a really bright guy. He wrote the book called The 4-Hour Workweek and The 4-Hour Body. I had the opportunity to ask him a question about the so-called lipid hypothesis. What did he say? Exactly the same thing that Dr. Land said, and I've heard this over and over and over again from the best and brightest people in this world who know and understand nutrition, especially as it relates to these fats and oils. Listen, saturated fats and cholesterol have been demonized because the industry agenda was to sell soy oil, to sell sunflower oil, to sell peanut oil, to sell canola oil, to sell soy products, to sell egg beaters, to sell margarine, and to create this thing called the low-fat industry. You know what they did? They started this whole thing that says polyunsaturated oils are good, saturated fat and cholesterol is bad, and from that sprung the high carbohydrate, low-fat disaster that's caused everybody to get fat and sick and diabetic over the past 40 years. So listen, I've been researching things like this for over 30 years now. So let me drop a bomb on you. Do you know that your liver makes 75% of the cholesterol that's in your body? The other 25% comes from your food. Did you know that when your liver gets overloaded with either sugar or fructose, it turns that into things called VLDLs or LDLs, very low density lipoproteins or low density lipoproteins, aka the bad cholesterol. So here's what I'm saying. If you want to find out what's causing all the heart disease, the clogged arteries, you need to look no further than this incredibly insane amount of refined sugar and refined carbohydrates that everybody's eating.